What many people don't know about insulin resistance is that recent research has uncovered 7 specific methods that can significantly improve insulin sensitivity naturally. And some of these findings completely changed how we understand metabolic health. I'm going to share these evidence-based approaches with you today, and by the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap that has helped thousands of people optimize their glucose metabolism. Does this make sense so far? Type yes below. And if you want more evidence-based health content from Health Treatment Center, hit that subscribe button right now. Before we dive into these 7 methods, let me explain what's really happening in your body when insulin resistance develops. Think of insulin as a key that opens the door to your cells, allowing glucose to enter and provide energy. When you have insulin resistance, it's like the locks on your cells have become rusty and harder to open. Your pancreas responds by making more keys, more insulin, but eventually this system becomes overwhelmed. This leads to higher blood sugar levels, increased fat storage, especially around your midsection, and a cascade of metabolic problems that can affect your entire health. The exciting news is that research from institutions like Harvard Medical School and the Mayo Clinic shows that insulin sensitivity can be significantly improved through specific lifestyle interventions. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine followed over 3,000 people with insulin resistance and found that those who implemented comprehensive lifestyle changes saw improvements in insulin sensitivity of up to 58%. This is what we're going to explore today through these 7 evidence-based secrets. Secret number 1 is strategic meal timing, and this isn't just about when you eat, it's about how you can optimize your body's natural insulin cycles. Research published in Cell Metabolism shows that our insulin sensitivity naturally fluctuates throughout the day, being highest in the morning and gradually decreasing toward evening. Dr. Sachin Panda's groundbreaking work at the Salk Institute demonstrates that eating your largest meal earlier in the day, ideally before 3 p.m., can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 23% compared to eating the same meal later in the evening. This happens because your circadian rhythm controls insulin production, and your body is biochemically designed to process glucose more effectively during daylight hours. Here's how to implement this. Start with a protein-rich breakfast within 2 hours of waking up. This could be eggs with vegetables, Greek yogurt with nuts, or a protein smoothie with low glycemic fruits. Your lunch should be your largest meal of the day, incorporating lean protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. Then have a lighter dinner, focusing primarily on vegetables and lean protein, and try to finish eating at least 3 hours before bedtime. Who else has struggled with late-night eating habits? Share your experience in the comments below, because I read every single one, and your story might help someone else on their health journey. Secret number 2 involves a specific type of movement that most people overlook, and it's called post-meal walking. A study in the journal Diabetologia found that a simple 15-minute walk after eating can reduce blood sugar spikes by up to 30%. But here's what makes this even more powerful. The timing matters significantly. Research shows that walking within 30 minutes after your meal provides the maximum benefit for insulin sensitivity. This happens because your muscles act like glucose sponges during movement, pulling sugar from your bloodstream without requiring as much insulin. The mechanism is fascinating. When you walk after eating, your muscle contractions activate glucose transporters called GLUT4. Think of these as special doorways that open up in your muscle cells. Allowing glucose to enter directly without needing insulin is the key. This means your pancreas doesn't have to work as hard, and over time, this reduces the burden on your insulin-producing beta cells. Start with just 10 to 15 minutes of gentle walking after your main meals. You don't need to power walk or break a sweat. A leisurely pace that allows you to hold a conversation is perfect. Secret number 3 is the power of resistant starch, and this might be the most surprising discovery on this list. Resistant starch is a type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in your small intestine, instead feeding the beneficial bacteria in your colon. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition shows that consuming 15 to 20 grams of resistant starch daily can improve insulin sensitivity by up to 25% within just 4 weeks. Here's where it gets interesting. You can create resistant starch from regular foods through a simple cooling process. When you cook potatoes, rice, or pasta, and then cool them in the refrigerator overnight, the starch molecules restructure and become resistant starch. This means that leftover rice or cold potato salad actually has different metabolic effects than the same foods eaten hot. The best sources include cooled cooked potatoes, overnight oats, green bananas, and legumes like lentils and chickpeas. Before I reveal the next secret, if this information has been helpful so far, give this video a like, because it really helps Health Treatment Center reach more people who need this evidence-based content. Secret number 4 focuses on a specific mineral that 80% of people with insulin resistance are deficient in. A comprehensive analysis published in the Journal of Internal Medicine reviewed 13 studies involving over 370,000 participants and found that higher magnesium intake was associated with a 22% reduction in insulin resistance risk. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body, including those that regulate glucose metabolism and insulin signaling. The challenge is that modern farming practices have depleted magnesium levels in our soil, which means our food contains less magnesium than it did decades ago. Additionally, stress, certain medications, and alcohol consumption can further deplete your magnesium stores. The best food sources include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados, and dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao. If you're considering supplementation, magnesium glycinate is generally the most bioavailable form and is less likely to cause digestive upset compared to other forms like magnesium oxide. Secret number 5 involves strategic hydration with a twist that most people never consider. While everyone knows drinking water is important, research shows that the temperature and timing of your water intake can significantly impact insulin sensitivity. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that drinking cold water, specifically water at 37 degrees Fahrenheit, can increase metabolic rate by up to 30% for about 90 minutes after consumption. This metabolic boost improves insulin sensitivity because your body works harder to warm the water to body temperature. Additionally, drinking 16 ounces of water 30 minutes before meals can improve insulin response by up to 13%, according to research from Virginia Tech. This works through multiple mechanisms. First, it helps with satiety, preventing overeating, which can spike blood sugar. Second, proper hydration optimizes blood flow, ensuring that insulin can effectively reach target tissues. Third, mild dehydration, even as little as 2%, can impair glucose tolerance and insulin sensitivity. The key is consistency. Aim for half your body weight in ounces throughout the day, with special attention to that pre-meal timing. Secret number 6 is about sleep optimization in a way that directly targets insulin sensitivity, and this goes far beyond just getting 8 hours. Research from the University of Chicago shows that sleep restriction to just 4 hours per night for 6 consecutive nights reduced insulin sensitivity by 25% in healthy young adults. But here's the crucial part that most people miss. It's not just about duration, it's about sleep quality and consistency. Your body follows a natural circadian rhythm that controls insulin production and glucose metabolism. When you go to bed and wake up at different times each day, you disrupt this rhythm, leading to impaired glucose tolerance. A study in Science Advances found that people with irregular sleep patterns had insulin sensitivity levels similar to those with prediabetes, even when they got adequate total sleep time. To optimize your sleep for insulin sensitivity, maintain consistent sleep and wake times within 30 minutes, even on weekends. Create a cool, dark sleeping environment between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid screens for at least 1 hour before bedtime, as blue light suppresses melatonin production, which plays a role in glucose metabolism. Comment ready if you're going to implement these sleep strategies starting tonight. And if you know someone who's struggling with blood sugar issues, please share this video with them, because this information could be life-changing for their health journey. For secret number 7. And this one might surprise you because it's about strategic stress management through a specific breathing technique that directly improves insulin sensitivity. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which directly antagonizes insulin action and promotes glucose production by the liver. However, research published in Diabetes Care shows that a specific breathing technique called coherent breathing can reduce cortisol levels by up to 23% and improve insulin sensitivity within just 2 weeks of practice. Coherent breathing involves breathing at a rate of 5 breaths per minute, which is much slower than our typical 12 to 20 breaths per minute. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest mode, which optimizes insulin sensitivity. Here's the technique. Inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, and pause for 2 counts between each breath. Practice this for just 10 minutes twice daily, ideally upon waking and before bed. A fascinating study from the Heart-Mouth Institute found that this breathing pattern creates something called heart rate variability coherence, which synchronizes your heart rhythm, breathing, and blood pressure. This coherent state optimizes the communication between your heart, brain, and other organ systems, including those involved in glucose metabolism. The beauty of this technique is that you can do it anywhere, anytime, and it starts working immediately to reduce stress hormones and improve insulin sensitivity. Let me share a quick success story that illustrates the power of combining these 7 secrets. Maria, a 52-year-old teacher, came to Health Treatment Center with an A1C of 7.1 and significant insulin resistance. Her doctor had mentioned that medication might be necessary if her numbers didn't improve. Rather than focusing on just one approach, Maria implemented all 7 secrets we've discussed today. She shifted her meal timing, started post-meal walks, incorporated resistant starch through cooled potatoes and overnight oats, increased her magnesium intake through spinach and almonds, optimized her hydration timing, established consistent sleep patterns, and practiced coherent breathing twice daily. After 12 weeks, Maria's A1C dropped to 6.2, her fasting insulin levels decreased by 40%, and she lost 23 pounds without counting calories. Most importantly, her energy levels increased dramatically, and she no longer experienced the afternoon crashes that had plagued her for years. Her doctor was amazed by the improvements and said her insulin sensitivity had improved to levels he typically only sees in much younger patients. Now, it's important to understand that these improvements didn't happen overnight. The research shows that meaningful changes in insulin sensitivity typically begin within 2 to 4 weeks, with significant improvements visible at 8 to 12 weeks when these strategies are implemented consistently. Your body needs time to adapt and heal, and this process requires patience and persistence. What was your biggest takeaway from today's video? Share it in the comments below because I love hearing which strategy resonates most with each person. Remember, these 7 secrets work best when implemented together as a comprehensive approach rather than trying just 1 or 2. Each strategy supports and amplifies the others, creating a synergistic effect on your insulin sensitivity and overall metabolic health. If you're ready to take control of your insulin sensitivity and optimize your metabolic health naturally, subscribe to Health Treatment Center for more evidence-based content that can transform your health. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest research-backed strategies. I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore the specific foods that can further enhance insulin sensitivity and support healthy blood sugar levels. Remember, this content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult with a healthcare professional before making changes to your treatment plan. Individual results may vary, and this information is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. If you have a medical emergency, contact your doctor or emergency services immediately. Health Treatment Center provides educational content only, and we are not replacing your healthcare provider.